This is Matrix Lord 212, and I just finished editing Promise Dream Book 10 in the Sora Separation Saga completely. You can tell by my eyes, I'm like, ugh. So it's 11:20. I sent it to the publisher, and it's going to begin stage 2, which means that's the final stage, and I'm gonna have to wait for the cover, which hopefully won't take months like the last book. But if it does run smoothly, I do expect to see Promise Dream released in October, and this will give me time to work on my sci-fi novel for the next couple of months to get it released for 12/12/12, and the book 11 will come probably in January, um, which is going to be a very um, different book, as they all are really different styles and stuff like that. So, and once again, the Sora Separation series is not poetry really anymore. It's not totally poetry. I mean, it's basically a novelization, a story. In some cases rhymes, some cases it doesn't. So it's a poetry story form really, and the stories are getting really, really good. The characters are getting good, with inspiration from getting 9 years time. It kind of motivated me and moved me a little bit. So I was able to get off my keister and get book 10 edited. I was writing a new book last night, which I don't even know what number this one's going to be because I already have a few books sitting there waiting. But this one that I'm writing is going to be um, probably a big one, I would say. I don't know if it's going to be the biggest book I've ever written, but it's going to be it's going to focus on characters touched upon in Loss of Ways, the first 25 pages, um, and it's going to focus on many different characters, but new characters really. So very interesting universe the Sora Separation is in, many different characters, and it's not no longer just about one set thing, even though it was born that way. But it's many different characters and many different time periods. In fact, yesterday's story was supposed to be book 10, but I held it back because I do want to make sure that that book is something special, is more time devoted on it. And with me doing the sci-fi book, I really can't give it the attention that it deserves. It will take place in 1978, and it will feature, it is very tied to the Sorrow series because it will feature a boy that is 4 years old and dealing with the first nightmares, the first sorrow, the first, basically when his faith is born, as he battles the darkness. And it's going to show how a boy later on like evolves. Like it may be another series where it's gonna show 9 years apart each time, where the first Yesterday story will be 1978, and the second will be 1987, and of course the third one will be 1996, where the Man of Nothing meets the Sorrow Girl, and it shows the birth of their relationship and the positive time that they had together. So that is a special project trilogy that it's also going to take many different forms too, and I do expect to explore other things too with that, and it's going to be pretty fun. But I was going to have all these spin-offs with Tomorrow's Song 2, and Winds of Change 2, and Destiny's Calling 2, and Lost Ways 2. But you know what? At the end of the day, um, it would be way too confusing for the reader. Plus, it will be way too much work for me because you can't have like I mean I'm on year 2.5 doing the books, and they're not established that quick where they're gonna have spin-offs of themselves. So, it's all part of the same universe. So, to make it different spin-offs would be way too much work, and I wouldn't be able to promote them with Sorrow together series. So, I would rather have it under the same umbrella, so to speak, as Tomorrow Song. Same umbrella, and where they just be later editions. Like I said, yesterday's story was supposed to be book 10, but I'm going to save it to work where I have more time to work on it. And I'm so, like, I mean, when I say I'm mapped out book-wise, I have my own planner, my own time frame when each book should come out, and I am just booked up till 2014, believe it or not. So I may be able to do an extra book here or there, but I basically have the Sorrow Separation series mapped out well beyond book 18, believe it or not. And that's not to say that that's the only thing I'm working on, because Future Factor, my crowning achievement in sci-fi, is not going to be one book. In fact, Future Factor book is going to be the biggest book I've ever written, because sci-fi, you can't have a 100-page sci-fi book. It's got to be like 1,000 pages. So, like I said, the moment this book is out of the way, book 10, I could just focus on my sci-fi. And even if I don't make the December 12th date, I know that maybe February would be the next second time, because it's like my birthday, and I probably wouldn't want to release it then if I couldn't release it in December. And maybe that would be a better time too. So Future Factor is going to be the next project right after Sorrow Separation 10 comes out, Promise Dream. And like I said, I got all these books mapped out. I gotta do 3 sci-fi books. I have to do Sorrow Separation. I have it all the way up into 18 so far. And I also have a separate book that I wanted to work on, a pet project that I had ever since I was a kid, basically, that I'm going to work on too. So, and when I say kid, something I had done since I was like 5 years old. So you'll find you'll find out what it is in 2013 late, but it's going to be for kids, really. So it's basically, I'm a jack of all trades. I'm doing the sci-fi books, I'm doing the Sorrow Separation series, and I'm doing like a children's a thing for the kids, children's book. So mapped out, man. But I tell you right now, if anything did come my way towards like the dream project of either working for like Doctor Who or writing for the Amazing Spider-Man, I would definitely make time for that, because those are the 2 big dreams I would love to do, is write for my favorite comic book hero, the Amazing Spider-Man comic from Marvel Comics, or write for Doctor Who. So, and the third project would be writing a movie script eventually, which who knows, really, at this point. I mean, the sky's the limit, and you know what? You always gotta strive to do better and better and better, and never limit yourself. While you breathe, you can achieve, and that's what I say in my new book. So, you just gotta keep going, and try to evolve yourself, really, no matter what goes on in your life, no matter what negativity comes your way, or no matter how many haters try to knock you down. You just got to keep going, and your life will be glorious. So that's it, and have a good night.